Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, October 30th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple quick clarifications, and the first one is a little goofy because right now, ticker symbol, which you can see right here, CMBM, is currently in the middle of a halt. And what I normally say is, yes, when you look at this candle, you're going to see it moving around. But because this one is currently halted, it's not moving around. So as I go to the next charts, they will be moving around. That's because the market is open for a small amount of time. Just because I like to do these when the market is open, because sometimes we can capture some really late day price movement. But yes, right now, out of the gates, CMBM number one, and no fancy reasoning other than if you like volatility, if you like big volume, then this is definitely one that you'll want to keep an eye on. With all that said, you do have to be okay with the halt risk, where if the stock just stops moving. That can always happen. So those things can either be really, really good situations or they can be really bad. But that's where it's all about your risk tolerance and how you view and what sort of stocks you like to play. But anyways, the main reason why this one is on the watch list is because the ingredients are there for a quality trading situation. Ingredient number one, you got to have volume. Ingredient number two, you got to have some volatility, got to have some price movement, and that one has both of these. So really nothing else to really focus on right now because, yes, this is very volatile. It's all over the place. But as the days go on, maybe this pulls back some more, and then all of a sudden, potentially, maybe you get some sort of like bull flag pattern or something like that. But as of right now, just throwing it on the watch list because, like I said, the two main dynamics are there. Great volume and great volatility. But you also have to be okay with potential halts. Next one here, PPBT. And on this one, it is not halted. So that's what I mean. This candle is moving around because, like I said, the markets are still open. And now we have a very interesting situation. Now, there's a little perspective that goes into it. If you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within a few minutes, well then yes, chart for you looks really, really bad because at that area there was a big pullback. And that's where things can always get sketchy because you have to say, uh-oh, was this a gap and trap? Was this a pump and dump? And as of now, seemingly not, because the price did at least start to go sideways, and now it's actually got a little bit of an upwards angle to it. Now let me be very clear, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because there's a big move down, just because it's going sideways, does not mean for sure guaranteed this thing is getting ready to head straight back up. Is it more valid? Is it a more rational possibility? Absolutely. For example, let's say the price came down here and we're still just dropping, and then I'm saying, hey, it's looking like this could be the bottom. It's looking like it might want to curl upwards. You'd be totally justified to say, well, what are you based on what? The price literally just dropping straight down. Well, that's not the case here. It has at least started to go sideways. Again, that doesn't guarantee anything, but it does make it valid. So if you like these circumstances where you get moved down, you get some sideways action, and then you get some, slight movement back up, certainly keep an eye on it, and we'll see if this wants to curl back up, and who knows, maybe revisit those highs. Next one, looking at NVDA, and the uptrend continues, higher highs, higher lows, and we have a good quality pattern here in place. So let's get this pattern mapped out. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. Let me change that to green to represent support, and then just to hopefully have the pattern stand out a little bit more, let's keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big moves up right there. And this would be, make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. And this would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed. If it chops around and then gets the break, that break right there is for sure going to create upside buying pressure. My point is it at least a valid question? Is it at least a valid scenario where if the price were to break up through the pattern there, that it could create additional upside buying pressure? And yeah, I think that is absolutely not a guaranteed scenario, but one that seems to be plausible. So if you like bull pennants and you like bull pennants on very popular stocks, certainly keep an eye on Nvidia. Next one here, looking at GPUS, and this was a rough one. It broke down through this pattern that I talked about yesterday and then just gapped down even more. So as far as this movement is concerned, from here up to here, this is all just a fake movement, dead cat bounce, pump and dump, whatever you want to call it. What gives me the right to say that? Well, price movements with genuine power don't go up and then go right back to where they started. And that is exactly what we have here. You can see the range that it is in now is the exact same range it was in over here before the big old move happened. So I'm not saying another nice move can't happen. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that as far as this movement was concerned, yeah, that was completely fake, pump and dump. whatever sort of description you want to use for it. So back to the drawing board there, and like I said, back to this sideways channel. I would say the top of the channel, best way to use that would just to watch that purple line there, that 50-period moving average. You can see it's actually already rejected the price right there. Current value is at the 47-cent mark. And then as far as the bottom of the channel and support, the level out, let's change that to green for support. Key area seems to be where the price bounces several times today, right there at the 40-cent mark. If you go through the history, you can see a couple times there bounced, and bounced. So no guarantees that the price continues to bounce at 40 cents, but I would not call you crazy if you were saying, I want to buy at 40 cents because I think it could bounce. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but I could understand the logic of why you do so. Next one here, looking at BYND, and we actually have an interesting situation. One of my favorite patterns is starting to take shape, and that is right here. So let's change that to support. And then the top part of the pattern here. And this is what is known as a falling wedge pattern, which is actually a bullish pattern. Now, as I mentioned previously, just because something's bullish does not mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go up. But the falling wedge can be a really, really good pattern. And especially on a situation like this where it was a very popular stock last week, and it's starting to get quiet, but it's almost like kind of a coil getting sprung. And is this thing about to see some sort of move back to the upside? Nobody knows that, but it's all a question of plausibility. I think that is a plausible outcome, but again, not guaranteed, and that is why risk management matters. But at the end of the day, if you like stocks down below $5, you like falling wedge patterns, certainly keep an eye on it. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem that potentially pertains to you, and that is the pattern day trader rule, meaning you'd like to be a day trader. In other words, you'd like to be able to make as many day trades as you want every single day. You don't have to worry about the, 3-day trades every 5-day rolling period. None of that nonsense. If that describes you, I want to be a day trader, then this is something you can do that you see here on the screen if you go to that link where there's no pattern day trading rule, and you can make as many trades as you want every single day. Not to mention the market that it gives you access to moves way better than penny stocks and low float stocks anyways. As crazy as all that sounds, I do understand, which is why I invite you to come swing by the live stream. I start every day, Monday through Friday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern, and see all this with your very own eyes. It's what I've been doing. It's amazing. And the best part is you have such a low amount at risk just based off of how everything is structured. But once more, I get it. This sounds kind of scammy. I understand. Come see it with your very own eyes. Ask me any questions, and I'd be happy to share more with you. Next one, ERNA, and rough one here, especially if you're any sort of day trader, flipper, scalper that was buying up around this area. Had a big pullback, but for those people that are still maybe not in it, we have an interesting situation just because mainly that last 30 minutes started to show some green, which doesn't guarantee anything, but does it make it a little bit more of an interesting question to throw out there that, hey, maybe this is some sort of leading indicator of some more upside movement to come. So on that note, if there is going to be any sort of push upwards, looks like the key area of resistance right now where the price was struggling at earlier today, right up there around $2.06. You can see here several times the price tried to get up through there, couldn't quite do it. So keep an eye on that as that main area of resistance. And if this pullback continues, then I would definitely say the do or die levels are the moving averages down there. Purple line being the 50 period, simple moving average. Pink line being the 200. And the reason why that is so important, and I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down here and break down below those, at that point, the price is quite literally gone right back to where it started, which basically makes this a pump and dump at this point, where the price pumped and all of a sudden dumped right back to where it was. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but that's why those moving averages, in my opinion, are very important. Next one here, PLUG, an interesting scenario, at least for me. Maybe you don't find this interesting, and if you don't, then you're probably not going to be watching this one on Thursday. But we have a low right here from the opening 30 minutes. Then we have this low down here, and notice that they're both at the same area right there at 270. So that brings about the question, is this going to be some sort of double bottom bounce? Last time the price was here, got a nice bounce. Does that mean for sure guaranteed it's going to do the same thing? Of course not. No guarantees. But is it at least rational? Sure. Now, if it's never bounced from that area before and you're saying, I think it's going to bounce, okay, that's a little bit sketchy. But in this situation, it has happened, and you've already gotten confirmation as of now that this level apparently wants to behave as a support. Now, does it want to continue to behave? That's another question. Nobody knows that. But as of right now, you do have a potential double bottom in play here. So if you like these double bottom patterns, you like this price range, keep an eye on it. Next one here, AMD, and we have ourselves a nice overall pattern. And I've already talked about this pattern once, so I'm going to go through this a little bit quicker just so I can respect your time as much as possible and don't want to be a broken record. So we have this area of resistance. We have this area of support. And then this is actually a multi. We won't even go that. I don't want to make it too confusing because we can still just call this a symmetrical triangle too. But the point here is the psychology is all the same. This thing has been trending up. Now we have a bit of consolidation. So it's just a question of, does this consolidation ultimately lead to another upwards movement with the, more momentum and all of that? And that is obviously no guarantees, as I've said 8 million times, and we'll say 8 million more times. But is it at least worth keeping an eye on? Absolutely, especially on well-defined and very popular stocks such as AMD. So AMD, nice little wedge pattern here within an overall uptrend. So does this wedge lead to another break to the upside? We'll see what happens on Thursday. Next one, DNN. And in this situation, we do have a pattern that will be a little bit cleaner to see. So let's get this into play. Again, just going quickly because you've heard me talk about this, so I want to respect your time. There's the area of support. Now, I suppose this pattern is a little different, but psychology is the same. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the upwards move right here. And this is technically what I would call a bull flag pattern. So not a bull pennant, but a bull flag. But like I said, overall, the psychology is the same. There's been a big move up. Now it's pulling back, consolidating. But is this a healthy consolidation? Will it lead to upside buying pressure? Keep an eye on it moving forward. So if you like bull flags, you like stocks below $5, keep an eye on DNN. Next one here, Tesla, TSLA. And kind of a weird day in the sense of, well, actually, this needs to be changed to support here. I'm not sure what happened there. But anyways, kind of a weird day where, things happen, don't get me wrong, but it sort of just has stayed right in the middle of this overall pattern that I talked about previously. Top of the pattern, resistance up here at 470.50. Bottom of the pattern, support down here at 449.10. So, like I said, again, I'm well aware. What are you talking about? It didn't do anything today, Clay. I'm a day trader, and it went up there, and then it came all the way down here, and then, yes, all fair points. But from the big picture standpoint, the price is literally still right dead center in the middle of this current sideways channel, consolidation. So from that angle, yeah, kind of still got to sit back and wait to see what happens. But from more so maybe like a day trader standpoint, I will say that this is a pretty interesting trend line right there. Let me change it up just to make it look a little bit different. So if you're more of you like to play breakouts, and yeah, good high volume breakout here. Could that launch it back up to that area? Again, no guarantees, but I could see that being a reasonable and rational thing to think could happen. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trend rule, or maybe you just don't want to risk as much money as you are right now, maybe you want access into a market that moves way better than penny stocks and low float stocks and all that sort of stuff, then definitely check out what I've been doing. And worst case, swing by the live stream and watch it with your very own eyes. As previously mentioned, I get it. This stuff could all sound a little too good to be true. What's the catch? I get it. So come check out the live stream, ask me questions, and I'd love to answer anything that you may have. So thank you for hanging out. As always, hit that like button, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.